What's up, guys? So in today's video I'm going to be replacing the fuel filter for my 2001 Tacoma. It's a 2.7 4-cylinder, and the reason I'm going to change it out is a couple reasons. One, I've had this filter just laying there for quite a while already. The reason that happened was because sometime back my fuel pump had given out. I wasn't sure if it was my fuel pump or the fuel filter, so I bought both just in case. And once I replaced the fuel pump, the truck went back to running fine. But I have been chasing a lean bank 1 code for quite a while. I've replaced numerous parts, and well, this is another part on the list that some people say that once they replaced it, it went away, so I might as well do it, right? And also because technically I don't have to spend anything, it's just been sitting there. I've replaced the MAF and that didn't change anything, so we'll see what happens. If not, then I'm just gonna trial and error, keep trying to see if I can knock out that code. But anyways, yeah, so this will be replacing the fuel filter on my 2001 Tacoma. Also, real quick before I start the process, I had seen a video sometime back where somebody replaced a fuel filter, or better yet, they had a few fuel filters and they actually opened them up and they showed how dirty the filters were. And I saw one where like around 100,000 miles the fuel filter was like not too dirty, but it was definitely not looking like new. And then they also had one at 300,000 miles and that thing looked filthy. Mind you, my truck is at 251,000 miles, and I think it's about that time I just, might as well get this done, because at 300,000 miles, like I said in that video I saw, that thing looked filthy. So I think I'm creeping up on that. So yeah. Okay, so before I start, let me just show you guys where the fuel filter is. Some people online have said that it's hard to get to, but I don't think it should be that hard. Some people said they had to take off the entire intake manifold, but I don't think so. So pretty much it's tucked under there. Alright guys, so real quick before I start, so there's going to be 3 bolts that I'm going to have to remove. I'm going to use a 17mm socket that you can see right there, and then I'm going to also use those vice grips to pinch one of the lines, that way I don't let a bunch of excess fuel just drip everywhere. And I'm going to probably pinch the line that leads up to the fuel filter before it gets filtered out. So yeah, now that aside, pretty much I'm gonna use this one as an example. There's gonna be 3 bolts they have to take off with the 17mm. It's gonna be one here and one on the back over here, or it could be the other way. I'll see right now the orientation. And then there's another one here behind the intake manifold. Let me show you guys. It leads up into the fuel rail. So there you can see it there. It's right there, that one right there. It's tucked in a bunch of hoses and wiring and stuff, but yeah, so that's 3 bolts. So now that you guys know what bolts you have to take off, let's get right to it. All right guys, so here's the old filter made in China. So it looks like this filter's been replaced before. The more I work on this truck, the more I'm seeing that the previous owners, they just kind of like did whatever to maintain the truck. They didn't really treat it with love. That's a little bit of fuel spilling out. But anyways, so yeah, this is just a generic Chinese brand, and you can tell like even on the size and the shape and everything, it's not OEM whatsoever. And not just that, but this might be the source of that fuel smell, or the source of my MPGs dropping really bad. Something I noticed was, according to the video I had seen and from what I looked into, I'm supposed to have 2 washers per bolt, 1 on each side, to prevent any leaks, right? And well, when I took off the one from here, which is this bolt, it only had this 1 copper washer, and it's supposed to have 2. And I noticed that with this one as well, which goes over here, and this one just had this 1 washer right here. And I won't be surprised if when I take this off, it's only gonna have 1 washer maybe. So yeah, I did notice though that I only got 1 washer per part, I guess per bolt as well here. But you know what, I think I'm just gonna put a washer on each side just to prevent any leaks. And well, yeah, so we'll see how this looks once I try to open this up as well. But anyways, this top piece right here, I don't know if the previous owner just tightened it too tight or not, but this one was a little hard to get off. I actually put some PB Blaster to try to loosen it up, and I hit it a little bit, the bolt, and I was able to break it free. I actually used a breaker bar because the ratchet I was using is a little too short. But yeah, I used a breaker bar. I didn't go crazy with it, just put enough tension to where I heard it finally budge, and then from there I just used a regular ratchet. But all the other bolts were fine. And another reason I know, I mean, aside from the made in China, right, I know for a fact they worked on it, was because the bolt that holds down this the filter to the block, it wasn't tightened all the way, so the fuel filter was kind of loose in there. So that could probably be a source to the fuel leak, maybe, I don't know. But we'll just have to wait and see how the truck runs after I install the new one. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much almost done putting it together. Just need to tighten things up except for one bolt. And man, I just hate how the 3RZFE, this model Toyota, it just has so many vacuum lines and stuff. And well, pretty much I'm trying to get through all that wiring in there and hoses and stuff to be able to put this washer on the bottom side of the feed line and the bolt, because I already have the top washer on, but I'm trying to put this one on the bottom so that way there's no leaks or anything. But man, I'm having trouble. But what I was gonna say is, this one came with the OEM Toyota filter. I don't know if it comes with any other brand filters. The previous owner that installed the filter on this, they clearly didn't have this one, but this one, it looks like it might come in handy, because since I have very limited room to play with, I'm able to grab this washer from the side like this, and then I'm gonna try to just slide it in there to where enough to where the bolt can go through and catch the threadings, and we'll see what happens from there. Because I tried using a regular washer earlier, but yeah, no, I was like bending the crap out of it and stuff. So I think this is gonna be a lot easier. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then once I have that on, I'll tighten everything up. All right guys, so fuel filter is on. So you guys can see there's the new one. I made sure I put washers on all sides. Obviously the check engine light is still on. I didn't disconnect the battery. I'm gonna go to the store and get some Lucas fuel injector cleaner, throw it in a tank, and then once I do that, I'll disconnect the battery, and we'll see how the code is. If the code is still there, then it's still there. If not, then at least we got a new oil filter installed. I mean a fuel filter installed. And well, yeah man, it was a pain in the ass to get that last bolt back there on. The big one there, mainly because some of the harness there, I don't know how or why they did it this way, but pretty much the harness that routes through the back there with some hoses or lines or whatever, it's like pressed up over where the bolt goes in. So I had to pretty much use one hand to like pry it away while I was trying to get the thread to catch into the block. But luckily we were able to get that done. All right guys, so here is the fuel filter. I pretty much took a old knife and I just hammered it into the sides until I got it open. Looks kind of dirty to me. And yeah, I thought about using a grinder at first, but I was like, wait, hold up, I don't want this blowing up in my face. It is fuel, right? So yeah, anyways, here we have some crystal clear filtered water actually, so it's really clean. Then I'm just gonna use this random container here. It's a spray cap and the filter, so I'm gonna pour it in through here. This is actually the inlet, and then it should come out the back, and we'll see what happens. Let's see if this is really dirty or not. So let me put down the phone, and here we go. All right, so it's pouring kind of slow. Anyways, it's going. I'll show you guys once it's done. All right guys, so here we are with the old filter. Dude, it looks pretty filthy in there, man, not gonna lie. Like, if you guys look in there, it is pretty dirty. I went ahead and I pulled out the filter itself. I'll stretch it out right now. And here you can see what was once crystal clear water now has this yellow tint to it. I don't know, you guys be the judge of that. Is that dirty, or is that just because that's the shade of fuel? Because fuel is more or less this color, but still, this was crystal clear water that went through the filter and it came out looking this color. So it could be a mix of the water and the fuel, or it could just be that the filter itself was that dirty. So yeah, so here's well, all that's deteriorated already, right? But that's the filter, man. And that's because this actually isn't even the OEM filter. I think I already showed and mentioned that earlier in the video. But for it not being the OEM filter and practically a replacement, this is really dirty in my opinion. And something that I noticed that I thought was actually pretty crazy was, let me see if I can find it. That's probably it right there. But it had like these little clumps, dark clumps here, which I know are not part of this, which I think is like glue or something. But it had this little thick clump of residue right there. And well, yeah, man, for it being the, I'm assuming, I don't know if it's been changed another time before, but for it being the second filter, in my opinion, this is pretty filthy, man. But now we're good. Now we have a brand new OEM Toyota certified filter on the truck. Unfortunately, the check engine light came back on again. It's indicating that it's running lean. It could probably just be a vacuum leak, maybe. If not, maybe I just need new injectors. But like I mentioned in the video before, I think I got a brand new I got some Lucas. I filled up the tank, threw the Lucas in there before I filled up the tank, and it's a fuel injector cleaner. So maybe with, like, by the end of the week, hopefully the code clears out. Maybe, well, no, we'll see. If not, then I'm gonna be looking into maybe a vacuum leak these following days. And also, in the end, I mean, if I really have to, I guess I'll change out the fuel injectors. So, or maybe there's like a clog somewhere on the rail line. But on the I guess, like, some good news is that I think earlier in the video too, I had mentioned that I had like this smell of fuel coming out of the truck every time I would get off and I would drive it. And well, since yesterday, from the test drive up into today morning that I've driven it, I have not noticed that smell of fuel anymore. So I'm thinking maybe there is some sort of like clog. Maybe it was the filter, maybe it's up into the injectors, but maybe it was causing like maybe some like sort of unnecessary pressure causing the leak to happen. Maybe it's that, right? But then again, remember guys, the previous owner didn't install some extra washers on both sides of the bolts that go into the filter and the fuel line. So maybe that was the source of the leak, who knows. But all in due time, little by little, I am restoring this Tacoma. And well, yeah, so again, you guys be the judge of that. Tell me if you think that's dirty or not. And that'll be it for this video. So like, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys on the next one.